I needed to finish that. Hi everyone, it's Carlos here. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I want to take a different approach. So rather than reviewing makeup launches on top of makeup launches on top of makeup launches, you get what I'm trying to say, right? It seems like every single hour of the day, there's a new makeup launch being released. And I'm like, okay, now it's starting to become a little saturated and to the point where it's disappearing on you. Kid you not. Anyway, so I wanted to review a particular product from a brand I've never heard of, from, I guess, a palette they may have released a year or two ago. And I'm like, you know what? Let's start doing that and let's start revisiting brands and products and see if the overall quality and performance is still there, or were those videos at that time overly hype. But anyway, so in today's video, we are going to be reviewing from a company called pinkyroseecosmetics in their Exotic Peacock palette. I actually did purchase this up in a BoxyCharm pop-up sale. And I'm like, okay, it looks cute. Never heard of the brand, never have. So I guess for me, that's kind of great because then I don't have a biased opinion from what other people are telling me about this particular company and the palette itself. So with that being said, we're definitely going to review this, give you my first impressions and see what I think about overall in terms of their quality. But before we get started into reviewing this, go ahead and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell as well, so anytime I upload new videos, you do automatically get the notification. It might give it I was on the roll. And give my video a thumbs up as well. And without further ado, let's just get started. All right, you guys, so let me go ahead and give you a quick overall review. Isn't that what we're going to be doing? An overall look as to this particular palette. I got it. Anyway, so here is a close-up. All right, the reason why I purchased it because packaging wise, very adorable, but the palettes inside are actually really pretty too. So that is the back. Just in case you want to take a look, packaging itself in the carton is exactly the same in terms of the canister. So you do have a long mirror right here. And again, if you want more of the nitty gritty in terms of this actual palette, there's plenty of videos I'm sure that are out there. But again, this is now a 2 year later, and just to give you a different perspective at the time it was released. So here are the palettes right there. I'm trying to hold it and I can't. So we got all of those shades right here. Well, how many is there? There's 6, 12, 13. So it looks like there's 14 shades altogether. I think this is actually a very beautiful story overall. It reminds me of peacock colors, which I think, hello Carlos, is kind of the reason why it's called Exotic Peacock. But anyways, you guys, so that is the overall shades themselves. Again, no clue how they're going to perform and the company itself. So for me, I'm pleasantly pleased to actually be trying a new product from a brand that I've never heard of. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and get my eyes primed and then we can get right into the palette. All right, you guys, so I got my eyelids primed and ready to go. So the first shade, I'm gonna go right into this palette. So to be completely honest, I have no clue what I want to go with, but this particular shade right here, which is called Discreet, hopefully it picks up. This, for some odd reason, was really calling to my name. It is more of like a hunter green, so I'm gonna definitely go within that shade first. I don't know what to say. So just in case you want to know, the brush I'm going to be using is a Morphe M506. So, and the reason I'm going to use this one is just because it's more of a narrow, but less, it's not as packed, or that's not the right words I want to be using. It's not as fluffy. So if you notice, it's more kind of like straight, and I want to use that. So rather than dusting off the loose product that's on here, I like to go into like my hand and push in those extra, what blank way I want to say, to push in the extra powder or the shadow inside the bristles. Do you ever have those moments when you're talking and all of a sudden you have no clue where you were going with it? That happens to me all the time. Anyways, you guys, so what I'm going to do is just apply this right at the edge of this eyelid right here, and then I'm just going to pack it down. Again, have no clue what the overall pigment is, but it looks like this is starting to have a good point. So my goal is to take this particular brush, obviously, I meant to say this shade, and then to apply it right here and then buff it out slightly to the top, not too much to the top, because I definitely want to go into another shade right above that shade. So does that make any sense? I don't know, you guys. Let me just keep going. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Oh my god. Alright you guys, so I didn't realize I had the fan going while I was recording the next step. So sometimes that fan can be a little loud. Anyway, so the next shade I was going to go into was Risque, which is a yellow shade color. Now, the brush that I use, just in case you guys want to know, this is a brush that Morphe and Jaclyn Hill did a collaboration on, is JH40. And the reason why I use this one because it is more of a pointy brush overall and is more packed. Now, what I end up doing, as you probably can see right here, I went ahead into this particular shade again, of course, and then what I did is picked up the product. Now, I tapped it here, and again, if you didn't hear me before, the reason why I do this method right here is because it allows the product to seep into the bristles without doing this method and losing product. So what I end up doing is just applying this directly right here, and then working its way up slightly over the green shade right here. So what I'm basically trying to do is bring out the eye a little bit more with the center of the eye popping a little bit more. And this way, if you notice with the green, it's actually slanted. And the reason why I did that is to give the illusion that my eyes are a little bit bigger than what they already are. Since I have hooded eyes, I have to really finesse the look to create an overall visual appearance that anyone's going to be able to see, especially with hooded eyes. Alright you guys, so I was able to go ahead and apply that particular shade. Again, I applied Risque, yellow one, right in the middle of the eyelid. So the next shade I'm going to go right into is the shade actually right next to it, which is titled Love Sick Finger. Anyway, so I'm going to apply that directly on the inner corner of my eye and then blend it inward. So let me go ahead and tell you exactly, or show you exactly what I mean. So the brush that I'm using now, it is a Morphe 506 brush. So again, same method as before, nothing special. Alright, so now I'm just going ahead and apply this right in the inner corner of the eye and bring it right next to that yellow. And so the next shade I'm going to use is the shade called Honey, which is this semi-tan brown color. I'm hoping it's much lighter than it is within the actual pan itself. So the next brush that I'm going to use is a Morphe E17. This one's a little bit more bigger. So again, just go right into here. Alright, so same method. I'm going to dab it into here. Now again, I'm hoping there's not a huge pigmentation level on here, but if it is, maybe I should have done this. Anyways, you guys, so now I'm going to apply this right up here, just very lightly, because again, I don't know overall pigment wise. So if I just dab it down and just bring it this way, back and forth, just dab it right here. And the goal is, because since I didn't have a transition shade, I want this to appear as though it was a transition shade. So now let's go here back and forth, since I got some of the product down, and then go back and forth here. Let me go ahead and show you exactly what the end result will look like. So now to make the eyeshadow, or not the eyeshadow, the eye look pop a little bit more, I'm going to be going over with two metallic shades. So on top of the yellow, I'm going to use Erotic, and then on the inner corner of the blue, I'm going to use the shade that's called, I cannot hold this right, it's called Peacock. Hopefully you guys can see it. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what I mean. So this time I'm just going to use my finger as the method. Hopefully it translates well. So I got the gold one, again, that is Erotic. Why does it sound funny when it's coming out? Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this right here and just dab it right there and then work it going upward. Here you guys go. See? Yeah, not too bad actually. So let me go apply this a little bit more. So now let me go right into the other shade, which was Peacock. And it was like more of like a metallic baby blue shade. There you guys go. And then I'm going to apply that right in the inner corner of my eye very lightly. And see, and then work those two shades together. Okay, so I went off camera for just a brief moment to complete the overall look. So now, what do you guys think in terms of the end result with this particular eyeshadow palette from Pinky Rose Cosmetics? So again, the eyeshadow palette that I use with the Exotic Peacock. All right, so let me give you my honest thoughts and opinions. Now, the pigmentation is there, which is really good. But what I struggled with a little bit was some parts of the patchiness. So I do know that blues and greens, those particular shades can become naturally just patchy. So because with that in mind, you do have to finesse it just a smidge more. And it's perfectly fine. Now you also have to be careful when you're getting a green and a yellow side by side, because if you blend it too much, it can become a bit muddy. Luckily, it didn't happen. On this side, it was just about to, if you notice right there. It was starting to get a little bit muddy. On this side, it's actually a little bit better versus on here. So again, you gotta finesse it in a way that it doesn't overkill the actual, end result. So that's just something to be mindful of. It's not necessarily just this palette, it's colors in general with those particular shades. So if you have tried this particular palette or tried anything from this particular brand, also leave a comment below. Let me know what products those were and what your overall experience was. All right, you guys, so that was my overall review of this particular palette. I give it, it's 50-50 for me, completely honest. It's good, it's nice, the pigment is there, but you do have to finesse it a little bit just so you can actually achieve an overall look, which isn't a problem as long as you have that extra time. But anyways, you guys, you definitely leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think in terms of this particular look. Anyways, you guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell as well. So anytime I upload new videos, you automatically get the notifications. But until then, make sure you all brush your teeth, wash your culo, and subscribe. I will see you all in my next video. Bye now.